I rushed home every day after work and spent every spare minute with her. I read everything I could find about how to maintain warmth and mutual understanding in a relationship and tried to put it into practice. In short, I went out of my way to make our marriage strong. He never showed her any care or concern. They lived like strangers. He literally kept her locked up, and over time she stopped feeling like a full-fledged person. All she wanted was freedom and the opportunity to start her life anew, but she didn't know how. It took several meetings at a place we both frequented for it to open. I think by the second or third time we talked, I was already deeply empathetic with her. She was 32 and I was 34, and we were on the same wavelength. After a few more meetings, we became close friends, and I began to dream of the day when she would be able to free herself from this man who was hurting her. After a few more meetings, she decided that he was probably starting to suspect. Suspect what? I asked. That I'm talking to someone else more and more often, she said. I started to worry, but she hinted that this person was me. Then she asked for a meeting in a more relaxed atmosphere to talk in private. At the second such meeting, she said that she needed my support. I was sure that she wanted me to lend her some money so that she could escape from this man, and I was ready to help. I just hoped she wouldn't get too far away from me, because like I said, I was head over heels in love with her. I don't want to embarrass you, she said, but it's been so long since someone hugged me. Could you? We lay down on the bed in the motel room. I hugged her and just held her in my arms. We were fully clothed. She took my hands, and somehow my hands ended up on her chest, but she didn't say anything. By the time she had to leave, I was feeling very nervous. She took my phone number so that we could arrange a new meeting. She called me the next day and thanked me for my support. She said that I can't imagine how much she missed the simple human warmth and how it helped her feel alive. I thought again how cold her husband must have been. A few days later, we met again in another place. She said that they needed to constantly change their location, otherwise it could affect her attempt to divorce. We spent time together again. The next day, when we talked, she seemed distracted. I started to think that maybe she had changed her mind. When I said goodbye, she suddenly said that she would be free soon and would be happy to continue communicating. I hung up the phone. It's been 6 weeks since we first met. I became more and more attached to her. She wasn't the most beautiful woman, but I thought she was special. I haven't dated anyone since I started talking to her, and I get the feeling that she's just taking advantage of my kindness. She called back, crying. She needed to talk. She said she didn't mean to be rude, but she was busy with something important. Why didn't you finish it before the bell rang? I asked. I wasn't sure until I heard your voice, she replied. What did you have to do? I filled out a form on a dating site, she said. Oh, be careful, I said. They often look for something completely different from you. Then we won't have any problems, she said, because we have similar views. I was surprised, and I think my silence prompted her to continue. You're a kind person, Ed, but spending time with you makes me need more and more intimacy. At first it was a feeling of warmth and comfort, but now I feel like I'm missing a real emotional connection. My husband has been estranged from me for a long time. Can I be completely honest with you, Ed? Sure, I said. I'd like to be with you in the long run. But now I need to feel needed and loved again. I hope you won't judge me for looking for support in other places as well. We were both silent for a while. Then I said, can we meet tomorrow? Each of our next steps seemed more and more risky, but I was already so attached to her that I couldn't back down. The next day, she greeted me with a slight smile. She didn't always speak consistently, but I wanted to believe her. Inside, I felt a struggle between my mind and my feelings. I know it all feels wrong, she said, but come to think of it, I'm not in a relationship anymore. And if you see your future with me, maybe it's really the right thing to do? We hugged again. She was a little more open about her feelings. We spent the evening in a calm and warm atmosphere. After that, we saw each other more and more often. She shared with me her plans for a divorce, said she wanted to be with me. I suggested that she apply and just leave. I said that I would accept her for who she is and support her. I expected her to refuse, but she just asked, will you marry me when the divorce is over? Sure, I said. I love you. I love you too, she said. Everything was going for the best. She hired a lawyer, didn't ask for anything from her ex-husband, and they quickly filed for divorce. The day after that, we got married. The first 6 years and 6 months were full of happiness. I worshipped her, but over time, I began to notice that something was changing between us. I tried to keep the relationship going. I did everything I could. But in the end, I had to choose myself for my own peace of mind. I just let her go. If she didn't want me anymore, there was nothing I could do about it. The man sitting across from me put down his beer and looked at me. I really feel sorry for you, man, he said. You were a good husband. You took her away from the guy who mistreated her, and this is how she repaid you. But you should move on. Not every woman you meet will do the same. Maybe she still hasn't recovered from the past. You treated her with respect, and maybe she wasn't ready for it. Sometimes it seems that some women are looking for a complicated relationship. They think they can change a person, and then they get disappointed. You did the right thing by letting her go. I'm glad you've kept your dignity, he added. If my fiancée had tried to pull off something like that, I would have talked to her seriously right away. But I think I'm lucky to have a wonderful woman. My story is a bit like yours. Her first husband wasn't perfect either. Well, you saw how I passed the lie detector test, I said. I have never raised my hand against any woman. Yes, he said, but not all men are like that. It's not easy. It's not a coincidence, I said. Now I'm the one she's afraid of. He looked at me in surprise. Gary, sit down, I said. That's not all. There's a lot Trisha hasn't told you. How do you know her name? He asked. Then he just sat back down. When you started dating, I was still wondering. I hired a private investigator to look into it, and that's when I found out about you. She got close to you quickly. It surprised me. He nodded. Enjoy it while everything is fine. Just remember, the situation may change over time. Right now, you're the one who's saving her. But if she gets tired of you, you'll be the one she leaves. I was her fourth husband, I said. The first marriage lasted 3 years, the second 5, the third almost 4. And none of them, like me, harmed her. They just loved me. Even her third husband wanted to fix everything after finding out about me. But I didn't have that kind of power. I let her go. How many times was she married? He asked. You're not the first. I hope you do better. We continued the conversation. I told him that I was going to leave the city and start all over again. He advised me to sign a prenuptial agreement. He seemed agitated. I left the bar, got in the car, and drove home. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. I had dinner on the terrace, did exercises. Now I had more time for myself. I was going to find true love, without past mistakes. When I was almost done cooking, the doorbell rang. I looked out the peephole and Trisha was standing there. Sorry, honey, my key doesn't work, she said. Could you bring my things? What is that smell? Trisha, you moved out yourself and said you could leave everything else. I changed the locks. Maybe it was a test. I wanted to find out if you really let me go. I don't want a divorce, she said. Bring my things and let's just talk. What's my fault, Trisha? I've been trying to talk to you every night for the last few weeks. But things may be different now, she said. We can fix this. I'll bring your things in the morning, I said. I opened the door and motioned for her to get out. She looked confused. She whispered. You were just using me. What just happened doesn't mean anything, I replied. We're not together anymore. That's what you wanted. I signed the documents. And please don't lie to yourself. You're here because Gary figured it out and left. But I'm not a backup anymore either. You're a monster, she said. Goodbye, Trisha, I said, and closed the door.